Hi, Vanner Fanner family. Today is Mental Health Monday. So, hey everybody, I just want to show you a quick of my shirt. You can get this in the Teespring store. And I'm showing you this shirt for a couple of reasons. One, so you can go get your own. And two, we're talking body image today and some of the issues that I have with body image. So this video, I'm going to try and edit it down and still get all the information to you that I want to get to you. However, it's so important to me that I speak this out loud to you guys. I've already had a conversation with a good friend of mine about this. I had this aha light bulb, literal light bulb moment come on the other day when I was supposed to be meeting with someone and they didn't show. So I went looking for a pair of pants. And so this light bulb body image moment happened while walking around in the mall looking for a pair of pants. So I didn't get the pants, long story short, but it's making me think back to over the years how I've dressed and what issues I've had with body image. Now, I've never really been a big person. I will say that I think my biggest was about almost 140. Maybe I was like 138 or so. Never quite made it to 140, but close to it. And that really, I was 137 when I was pregnant with my son at 9.5 months pregnant. And when I started van life in 2015, I was weighing about 138. Of course, I was not pregnant. And I'm only 5'4", in case you're wondering what my height is. So, I have a very short torso. So when I gained that much weight, it looked a little bit bigger on me. In my mind, it looked bigger on me because I have a very short torso. I'm very blocky in the middle. I'm not curvy. I do have a wide backside, and it's flat. It's not a badunkadunk. I wish. Oh, I pray for that booty, but I think the creator knew what they were doing when they did not give me that booty, because I would be out here showing it off. So I guess in some ways that's a good thing. So, yeah, I just noticed when I went to look for pants, actually it didn't start with pants. If you follow me on any of the social media and even here on YouTube in the community tab, you saw a post about these tennis shoes. So I went, I knew for a long time that I needed good shoes. And to me, in my mind, I don't really know what good shoes are because I've never spent more. The most I've ever paid for a pair of shoes are like $40, but I tend to be between the $10 and $20 range for shoes. And that's my comfort zone with spending for shoes. I do have some really good inserts that were made by an orthopedic doctor, but those were made before I had my knee surgery, before I had my ankle surgery, and before I had my other knee injury. So how well they're working for me now, I'm not sure. And I tend to not wear them because they are not comfortable anymore. So not that they were ever very comfortable, but they're just not comfortable. And so I don't wear them, especially when I'm having to walk and stand for long periods of time, which I am doing for this job, my full-time job. So I went into a running and walking specialty store declaring I wanted a black men's tennis shoe because that's my normal thing. I prefer wearing men's tennis shoes because I don't like bright colors. I don't like pinks and purples and all the little designs and swirls that come on women's tennis shoes usually. So I just usually get a pair of basic black men's tennis shoes within that $10 to $20 range and keep it moving. I buy a pair maybe once every couple of years and keep it moving. So if I could live in my Crocs, I would. I love flip-flops when the weather's nice and Crocs when the weather is not nice, and I'm good. Those are my two go-to shoes and have been for the last couple of years since living van life on the road. So the guy there, Mr. S. Thank you so much, Mr. S, for all your help. I'm going to try and make this really quick. Like I said, this video is probably going to be a little long, so bear with me. He sat me down. He asked me some questions about, what about my foot, about my, I told him about my injuries. I told him about my 2 surgeries. Along with all that, I am very bow-legged, and as I get older, I realize that I'm getting more bow-legged, and I think that's because of the knee issues that I have, and the joint condition that I have is attributing to that. So, my legs are bowing out more, a little more. They're not excessive, but you can definitely tell I'm bow-legged when I'm walking. Explained all that to him, that I am flat-footed, but my foot's not wide. It's not a narrow foot. It's just a regular average foot, but there is really no arch. So I explained that to him as well. So he brought out several pair of shoes for me to try on and walk around the store in. And I walked around in several pair. I put like the right foot in one shoe that I liked, and the left foot in a different shoe, and walked to try and compare those 2 shoes and vice versa, and narrowed it down to 2 pair. And this happened to be one of the pair. So of course he bought me all women's shoes, and because a woman's fit is just different than a men's fit, and this happens to be a Brooks, which I've never heard of this brand before, but this is a Brooks shoe, and this happens to be their narrow shoe, which, like I said, I don't have a narrow foot. But he brought this out because I think he said they normally fit kind of like a wider width of a foot, but their narrow is not really necessarily as narrow as most other brands narrow. So that's why he brought it out for me. So I really like the shoe. When he told me the price tag, I about fainted. $137, y'all. The other shoe I really, really liked was an Asics shoe. And I've always had good luck with New Balance and Asics shoes in the past, just buying them like from Marshalls. But again, I always bought the men's shoe. And New Balance and Asics were one of the brands, 2 of the brands that he brought out with him when he brought all the other shoes out. So, yeah. So, those Asics, though, were $160 some. But I still think I'm going to go back and get them, and I think I'm going to alternate between the 2, because this one had hold and support in areas that the Asics didn't, and the Asics had a little bit more stability throughout the shoe that this one doesn't have. So I think for working out and for working at the job, I need a balance of those, and swapping out the shoes will help them last a little longer as well. According to him, a runner who runs in a shoe should change every 6 months to a year, because I'm not a runner and I'm not going to be doing much more than walking on a treadmill, and maybe a little fast walking on the treadmill here and there, that I could probably get a year to a year and a half. If I'm swapping out both 2 shoes, I might be able to push it to 2 years. Just depends. Even though shoes don't necessarily wear out and look, the stability and the core inside the sole will wear or flatten or compress or condense and not hold your foot like it did in the beginning. So that's why you should be changing shoes, even though they don't look like they need to be changed. So they need to do something more eco-friendly for a shoe, though, because I just feel like if a shoe still looks like this after 2 years, most people won't stop wearing it. So it's like, if you get rid of it, what do you do with it? Like throwing it in the landfill? That's just horrible. I mean, yeah, I guess you could take it to the thrift shop and somebody else can get it, but they're not going to really get the true benefits of the shoe. But I guess that's neither here nor there. Anywho, that started my head wrapped around why I always get men's shoes. Is it just for comfort? Is it just for the looks? Is it a combination of both? And I think it's a little bit of a combination of both. The comfort, the look, the style. I just feel like that. So when I went to meet someone and they were a no-show, actually it was a mechanic who was supposed to look at my vehicle, and he was a no-show. We were going to meet at the mall because obviously I'm going to meet a mobile mechanic at a public place. So I went to walk around the mall, and I thought about the pants that I bought for work, the tan pants that I got for work, and you saw that picture. If you haven't, then that video's coming. And I even though those were women's pants and I bought them at Walmart, they were like $13. I bought a tan pair, a black pair. I really wasn't all that thrilled with the fit of the pants or the look of the pants more so. So I was just looking to see if, while the holiday season, anything else might have been on sale at JCPenney's, Macy's, Target, and I think I went to, that's it. No, I didn't go to Nordstrom Rack. So JCPenney, Macy's, and Target were the 3 stores I went looking to see if they had anything. And I went to the men's section every single time because I was looking for a tan cargo pant. I really want a cargo pant, and I know they make them in women's, but it seems to be hard to find even online in women's. So I decided to go straight to the men's section on both. I just bypassed the women's altogether because everything in the women's section is skinny and leggings and jeggings, and that's just not a fit that I still wear bootcut jeans, so that's not a thing for me. Anyway, I didn't find anything, no cargo pants at all, and the couple pair I did find, they didn't have my size, not small enough in the men's. So I did try on 2 pair that I thought might work out of Target's boys section, but they were just like a 1/2 inch too short. The fit was okay, but I like a longer pant because I like my pant to come, down onto my shoe, like right about in here. I like my pant to cover the top of my shoe. So I usually buy a long pant, even though I'm not tall. I like that fit better. So that's really when I had this aha light bulb body image, clothing image moment. And like I said, I had this discussion with a friend. So it dawned on me, if I go back even into my teens, I have always bought clothing. I always check the men's section first for something, if I'm looking for something very specific. And even when I do buy women's clothes, I always buy a size or 2 bigger. I've always done it, and do not ask me why. I will tell you. It didn't dawn on me, and I am almost, let's see, this is December, so in 6 months I will be 49. It has taken me all this time to realize why I do that. I have never, and I really even still don't like my body. I have never liked my body. And I think a lot of it may stem from some of the negative talk that was told to me growing up, how ugly I was, how stupid I was. And so a lot of that stuck with me. I mean, how do you not keep that in your head when you're like from a little child to your like almost teenage years, if all that's being said to you in the home? So I think I never thought I was pretty. I still don't. I just never had a good self-image of beauty about myself. I was always felt to be less than. So it's hard to break through and bypass that. I'm very confident now in myself, in my personality, speaking my mind, in most instances. A lot of times I will just clam up and be like, you know what, this is not even worth me saying anything. I'm gonna just let this be what it is, and I'm out. So that happened recently, as you all know. I've never had a positive body image of myself. I mean, even dating guys, like, I never thought they were into me because I was beautiful or sexy. And I have had men, especially my second husband, tell me that you don't know how to take a compliment, because I was never complimented growing up. I never had somebody saying, you're beautiful, sweetie, and don't you ever forget it. I never had that positive stuff being fed and poured into me as a kid. So how am I supposed to take a compliment as an adult if I was never taught that I am beautiful, that my skin is pretty, that I am a cute little girl? Never. So I'm just now breaking through this. Like I said, again, I'm going to keep repeating, bear with me, guys, because I'm having an epiphany right now. I'm having a moment, and I'm legit trying to get across to you how eye-opening this was for me this past week. Well, yeah, last week. So I'm like, okay, so you never had a positive, image of your body, yourself, your beauty, nothing growing up. And you always wore men's clothes for what reason? You always bought clothes bigger for what reason? And that was because it's easy to hide yourself. I didn't like my bow legs. I was not born bow-legged. I didn't become bow-legged until puberty hit. I had a lot of pain as I was going through the beginning of puberty and also having a little bit of a growth spurt. I mean, I'm only 5'4", so it wasn't like a spurt. But anyway, and I would have so much pain in my legs, and I would tell my parent that it felt like a truck was running over my legs. And I honestly don't think my parent believed me all the time. And doctors, I don't think, believed me. I think people were thinking I was faking. I just wanted to stay home from school, that I was a hypochondriac, that I was dramatic. And that's when my legs were starting to bow, because as I was growing, instead of growing straight up, my legs were bowing. And that's what I was, little did anyone know, the joint condition that I didn't find out I had until 2010, 2011, that was part of it. That was part of it. And had someone known that I had that condition, I did not have to suffer all that pain. And they could have done something for my legs to stop them from bowing. I remember vaguely one doctor saying that they could break my legs and put them into braces, but they had to wait till I finished growing at like 18, 19 years old, because it wouldn't help if they did it too soon. And who wants to be in braces at 18, 19 years old? You're going to be graduated from high school and then with leg braces on for like 2-3 years? Like who? So I don't think that never was an option again. But anywho, I think the big baggy women's clothes, the men's clothes, because honestly, even when I was pregnant with my son, I only had one pair of maternity jeans. And I wore my first husband's clothes. I wore his shirts. I wore his jeans. When I got bigger in the pregnancy, like 7, 8, 9 months into the pregnancy is when I really started to show and needed that extra room. For the most part, I just took whatever jeans I already owned and just unbuttoned them, unzipped them, and tucked the flaps in on the inside and just wore a big t-shirt over it. I just never, I was like, I'm not buying maternity clothes, that doesn't make sense for just a couple of months. And so I did, and I don't even think I bought them. I think somebody else bought them for me, or I found them at a thrift shop maybe. I don't even remember. That's been so many years ago, almost 25 years. Anyway, I just never have thought of myself in that way. And as I got, like I said, when I got bow-legged, like, I don't know, I want to say maybe 10, 11, 12-ish, those years my legs started bowing. You go into middle school, and then the boys are mocking me for my bowed legs. They're calling me names, kind of like sexually advanced type names and stuff. So then I started not wearing any kind of a, regular jean. I went to like a looser jean or sweats or something like that. And more, just covering up more, jackets more, that kind of stuff, big t-shirts, big sweatshirts, that kind of thing, because I didn't want boys to notice me. I didn't want anything really to do with boys. One, for some fear instilled in me by my parent. Also, just my own fear, internally, my own fear as well. Like, I'm not, I did not date. I didn't have a boyfriend. My first sexual experience, I was almost 18. It was like maybe a few months before turning 18, maybe 6 months. I don't know. Anyway, I just did not want anything to do with boys. Yeah. So I think it was definitely a shield. I was definitely hiding, and I pretty much have had that mindset and mind frame the whole teens, 20s, 30s, and even now, even today, I'm looking at my pants and I'm thinking, these are not my size. So I have vowed with myself to stop by, even when I went to get my Planet Fitness t-shirt from my manager, she asked what size I wanted. I did ask, does it shrink? Because it's, a cotton t-shirt. And she said they do shrink. But it hasn't shrunk yet. I got mediums, but they're men's mediums. They're not women's mediums. So I should have got a small. So I've got to go back to her now and say, hey, I've washed these shirts. Can I get a smalls instead of these mediums? They are not going to shrink. I've washed them. I've dried them. Like hot, high, everything. They're not shrinking. They're not fading either, so that's good. But yeah, I definitely need to stop that mindset of buying clothes that are big. And it's not that I'm trying to show off my body, because I don't want to do that. I just want clothes that fit me. That's it. If I'm a size 6, why am I buying an 8 jean? Why? I don't know. I just do. I even have a size 10. And yeah, they're a slimmer fit, and that's why I bought a 10, but still, they're too big. I'm constantly pulling them up. So it's like, seriously, Crystal. Seriously. And granted, a couple of things that I started out this journey with, not many, I have a few things. I was a little bit bigger, but I've never been busty, so it wasn't like I needed these big old shirts. Even this shirt is too big. I should have got a small. So I do have one hoodie in there that's a small. I think I have one other tee that's a small. Not very many clothes back there most are mediums and large as far as shirts go. And the pants are like 8s and up. I might have one pair of 6 jeans, maybe. But even like the sweatpants, the workout pants, those are all mediums and larges. So I have really got to stop. And I think I'm going to slowly get rid of stuff and get my size and just change my narrative in my head about what clothes look like on me, what size I really am, and just stop this negative body image. And I think it's so deep in my psyche that I don't even think about it as me seeing myself negatively. I just buy that size because I've always bought that size. I just buy medium tops no matter where I go. I don't try them on. I just grab a medium. Like, no matter what the cut, no matter how it's supposed to fit, I just grab a medium off the shelf and be like, okay, that's going to fit. No worries. And I've got to stop doing that. I need to try it on. Every t-shirt is different. If it's a men's cut, you're going to need a small. If it's a women's cut, you really do need to try it on, because a women's cut t-shirt goes in at the waist. I don't necessarily have a waist, so a small in a women's cut might fit me different. I may need a medium in a woman's cut t-shirt. Just depends on the t-shirt itself. So I've got to try it on, and I'm going to have to start doing that. I'm going to have to try it on and make sure I'm buying the size that I need to buy. And if something fits me just perfectly, because I do wash and dry all my clothes, it's not like I'm going to have a line hanging across the van with hanging up things so they don't shrink. I need to reevaluate, do I get that shirt or not? If I feel like it might shrink, but the medium is really big, maybe I don't get that shirt at all. You know what I'm saying? So if I find a shirt that I just like, not necessarily need, and it fits really, really good in small, but the medium is just a little loose, just like, oh, that's a little bit too loose, just don't get that shirt at all. It's not a necessary thing. It's not a need. I'm not going to go out and do a whole shopping spree, but I'm going to little by little, especially with my jeans. I think I'm going to start with my jeans and go to Old Navy. I have 4 pair of jeans right now. I feel like that's something that I can do because they're always having sales on jeans. I can just go get 4 pair of jeans, try some on, get my right fit in Old Navy, which tends to run bigger. I have found in the past that anytime I buy an Old Navy jean, they tend to run a little bit bigger. So a 6 to an 8 is usually where I'm at, depending on the cut of the jean. I don't like the skinny jeans, but I can start. I do like bootcut jeans, and bootcut jeans tend to be a little looser, so I need to really make sure I'm getting my right size in a bootcut jean and not just buying a 6 or an 8, depending on the day. I need to try it on because sometimes I might need a 5. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, if you struggle, like I struggle, with internal body image issues, beauty issues about yourself, And it's not even a struggle for me as to what society sees as beauty, because I could care less about that. It's honestly, do I see myself as a beauty? Do I see beauty within myself when I look in the mirror? Like, I honestly don't look in the mirror at all. I look in the camera when I shoot these videos. I make sure my hair's looking somewhat decent if I'm wearing it out, or my wrap is not crooked when I have it wrapped up. But that's about it. I daily, when I'm washing my face, brushing my teeth, like I don't have my mirror out looking in it. I'm not doing that. I just don't do it. So half the time I don't know what's going on with my face. So I make sure I moisturize. I make sure I take a Q-tip and clean out the nostrils so there's no things hanging out. But other than that, I really don't know half the time what's going on with my face unless somebody says, oh, you got something here. I don't know. Because I rarely look in the mirror. Even when I go to public restrooms and wash my hands, I rarely glance up at the mirror. I'm just washing my hands, singing the little ABCs in my head, washing my hands. I just don't. And I think it's because, why am I looking in the mirror when I don't think I'm pretty or beautiful? Like, you know what I mean? I think internally there's something going on with that too. When I walk past a mirror, I don't check myself out. I don't check my clothes out in a mirror. If you walk past some mall or store or whatever, and they've got, mirror type window, or, just wherever you are, you don't, you just take a glance at yourself in the mirror, be like, yeah, I'm cute, whatever. I never do that, never. So I think I've got, not that I need to be vain or anything, but I do need to realize that I'm pretty. I'm beautiful. Whether or not somebody else thinks I'm beautiful, that's not the point. I am a beautiful Black queen, and I need to embrace that about myself. I really do. I tell other women how beautiful they are, and I think it's because I don't want any woman to walk around feeling or having a subconscious feeling like I have. So I'm always telling other people how beautiful they are and how much I love them and stuff like that. I'm always pouring into other people, but I really don't pour into myself, and I've got to start doing that, because if I don't pour into myself, it's constant pouring into other people and not pouring into myself. I'm going to dry myself out. I need to be speaking those things to myself as well. And so I'm speaking them to you, my kings, my queens, my beautiful men and women. You are all gorgeous. I love you, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Mwah! Check out the journey from day one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Get some Vanner gear. And for exclusive content, check out Patreon. Thanks for watching.